Imagine for a moment that you are doing everything right. You wake up, you take a brisk walk, and you sit down to a breakfast of 2 hard-boiled eggs, believing you have fueled your body for the day. But for many of you watching this, there is a silent biological process happening under the surface that makes those eggs far less effective than they were 30 years ago. We are talking about anabolic resistance, condition where the aging body becomes less efficient at converting dietary protein into actual muscle tissue. By the time we reach age 70, the muscle protein synthesis rate can drop significantly, leading to a state where we are essentially starving our muscles even while eating what we think is a high-protein diet. I have seen patients in their late 80s who struggled just to rise from a kitchen chair, despite eating eggs every single morning. The hard truth is that while eggs are a wonderful food, they take 3 to 4 hours to break down. And for a body over 70, that window of opportunity for muscle growth is often missed. This is the invisible erosion of sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength that threatens your independence, your balance, and your longevity. As Dr. Hope, I want to share a perspective that most general practitioners simply do not have the time to explain. To fight the aging process, we must look beyond the shell. There are specific types of protein that science now shows are more powerful than eggs when it comes to rebuilding and strengthening muscle in old age. These proteins contain unique biological compounds that eggs simply lack. And some can even raise your muscle protein synthesis rate to levels similar to someone 25 years younger. In this documentary, we are going to explore 6 specific powerhouses that act as more than just building blocks. They act as metabolic triggers. We will dive into why lentils are a gut muscle miracle, how hemp seeds mimic your own blood plasma for instant absorption, why wild salmon provides a cellular lubricant that eggs cannot match, the secret of the whey protein leucine trigger, the nighttime protection of cottage cheese, and finally, a plant protein with a name that sounds like the devil, but builds muscle like a steak. By the end of this 30-minute masterclass, you will have a complete roadmap to change the way you look at your plate and, more importantly, how you feel in your own body. You must understand that muscle loss is not an inevitable destiny. It is often a nutritional mismatch. Clinical data from institutions like McMaster University and the University of Washington have shown that by adjusting the source and timing of your protein, you can see remarkable turnarounds in as little as 10 weeks. We are going to look at how to stop the slow erosion of your strength and replace it with resilience. We will discuss why certain fats in hemp seeds are superior for calming the inflammation that eats away aging muscle, and how a simple change in your evening snack can prevent your body from breaking down its own tissue while you sleep. This is not about eating more food. It is about choosing the right kind of bioactive compounds that support the gut-muscle axis and hormone production. Before we proceed, consider the stakes. Every pound of muscle you lose is a loss of metabolic currency. It makes you more susceptible to falls, slows your metabolism, and increases systemic inflammation. But the solutions I am about to present are simple, relatable, and easy for any American senior to apply starting today. We will cover the specific dosages you need, such as why you might need 3 grams of leucine at once to wake up your muscles, and the practical steps to integrate these foods without spending hours in the kitchen. Whether you are 60, 70, or 90, the biological potential for repair is still there, waiting for the right signal. Let us begin with our first shift in perspective, moving away from the traditional breakfast and toward a low-cost powerhouse that most people completely overlook. When we think about building muscle, our minds immediately go to animal products like steak, chicken, or those breakfast eggs we just discussed. Plant-based proteins are often dismissed by seniors as being too weak to maintain real strength. However, I want to introduce you to a low-cost powerhouse that most people overlook, the humble lentil. For only about 50 cents a cooked cup, lentils deliver a massive 18 grams of protein. But the reason I recommend these to my patients over 70 is not just the protein count. It is the unique package of fiber and nutrients that comes with it. Lentils contain 16 grams of fiber per cup, split between soluble and insoluble forms. This fiber does something extraordinary for the aging body. It nourishes gut bacteria that create butyrate. This is a compound shown to calm inflammation inside the muscle, sharpen your insulin response, and actually improve how well your body uses the protein you eat. Researchers now call this the gut-muscle axis. The data is quite clear on this point. A healthy microbiome can raise your muscle protein synthesis by as much as 30%. This is likely why in blue zone regions, where people remain active well into their 90s, lentils and legumes are daily staples. Furthermore, lentils provide resistant starch, which steadies your blood sugar and increases the thermic effect of protein. This means your body actually burns extra calories during digestion, which helps cut fat gain while promoting lean muscle mass. We also have to address the folate deficiency that plagues nearly 1 in 3 older adults. One serving of lentils covers 90% of your daily requirement. When you fix a folate deficiency, research has shown a boost in strength in as little as 2 weeks, with muscle mass climbing roughly 5% after just 3 months. For my patients who feel constantly fatigued, the iron content in lentils covering 37% of your daily needs is a game changer. When you pair lentils with a source of vitamin C, like a squeeze of lemon or some chopped peppers, your iron absorption can triple. This supports myoglobin, the oxygen carrier inside your muscles, allowing you to stay active without running out of energy. They even have more potassium than bananas, which protects you against painful leg cramps and keeps your muscles firm. If you are worried about the incomplete nature of plant protein, do not be. When paired with grains, lentils become a complete protein source. They are also incredibly practical for seniors who may have trouble chewing or digestive sensitivities. Red lentils. For example, cook in just 10 minutes and turn silky smooth, making them perfect for soups. If you want even more power, sprouting your lentils raises their protein content by about 20% and makes them much easier to digest. Lentils are not a weak alternative to eggs. They are an affordable, anti-inflammatory, muscle protective tool that animal proteins simply cannot match. When you reach your 70s and 80s, the efficiency of your digestive system becomes just as important as the quality of the food you put into it. Many seniors struggle with reduced stomach acid or sluggish digestion, which means that even a high-protein meal like a steak or a pile of eggs can sit in the stomach for hours, failing to reach the muscles when they need it most. This is where hemp seeds come in, offering a protein that feels like home to your muscles. Just 3 tablespoons of these seeds provide 10 grams of complete protein. But the real secret lies in their molecular structure. Hemp protein is composed largely of edestin, a globular protein that is almost identical to the globulins found in human blood plasma, because your body recognizes this structure so easily. It requires very little metabolic processing, allowing it to be absorbed effortlessly, as if your muscles were hearing a voice they have known since youth. But protein is only part of the story. What makes hemp seeds extraordinary for the aging body is their unique fat profile. As hope, I often have to warn my patients about the hidden inflammation caused by modern diets. Many common protein sources, including eggs, can have a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids that fuels systemic inflammation. Hemp seeds, however, sit at an ideal 3-to-1 ratio, which is perfect for nourishing muscle tissue and reducing the biological rust of inflammation. They also contain a rare fat called gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA, which converts into DGLA in the body. Studies have shown that GLA can cut post-exercise muscle soreness in older adults by as much as 40%, helping you recover from a walk or a gardening session much faster than you would otherwise. Furthermore, hemp seeds are a rich source of arginine, an amino acid that plays a critical role in your circulatory health. By the time you hit 70, your circulation naturally slows down, making it harder for nutrients to reach the tiny fibers of your muscles. Arginine helps widen the blood vessels, boosting blood flow, and even triggering the release of growth hormone. Research indicates that arginine can raise growth hormone release by up to 30% when taken after a workout or before sleep, directly aiding in the repair of aging tissue. This is a massive advantage for anyone trying to maintain their independence and physical strength. Finally, we must talk about magnesium. More than 80% of older adults are deficient in this mineral, which often leads to muscle cramps, weakness, and a sluggish recovery process. Just 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds cover nearly half of your daily magnesium requirement. Magnesium is also the key that activates vitamin D in your system, which is essential for muscle strength. I recommend my patients sprinkle these mild, nutty-tasting seeds onto yogurt, oatmeal, or salads. They require no cooking and can be eaten straight from the bag, making them one of the most practical tools in your nutritional arsenal. Start with just 1 tablespoon a day to let your digestion adjust, and you will soon find that your muscles feel more resilient and your energy more sustained. As we move deeper into the science of muscle preservation, we must address a primary enemy of the aging body: oxidative stress. I often describe inflammation to my patients as a form of biological rust that slowly eats away at muscle tissue, while eggs provide basic building blocks. They lack the specific compounds needed to stop this slow erosion. This is why wild salmon is an indispensable part of the Senior Vitality Protocol. Wild salmon offers the unique ability to repair muscle damage at a cellular level. Each portion provides approximately 22 grams of premium protein. But the true magic lies in its omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DA. These fats act like a lubricant inside aging muscle fibers, keeping them flexible and resilient. The data supporting this is profound. A University of Washington study revealed that older adults who consumed the omega-3 equivalent, eating salmon 3 times a week, gained 6% more muscle mass without even increasing their exercise levels. This happens because omega-3s actually weave themselves into the muscle cell membranes, making them more sensitive to all protein sources. Essentially, eating salmon makes every other protein you eat work better by switching on mTOR, the master regulator of protein synthesis, while simultaneously lowering inflammatory molecules like TMF-alpha and IL-6. Beyond the healthy fats, salmon provides a massive dose of vitamin D, which eggs almost entirely lack. One serving contains about 1,000 U of vitamin D, a nutrient that directly triggers protein-building activity inside your muscle cells. Research shows that simply correcting a vitamin deficiency in older adults can lift muscle strength by as much as 20%. Furthermore, the vibrant pink color of the fish comes from astaxanthin, an antioxidant proven to be 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C. This compound protects the mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells, helping to sustain endurance and reduce fatigue. Studies have even shown that astaxanthin can raise muscular endurance in seniors by nearly 40%. To get the most out of this protein, I always recommend wild-caught Alaskan salmon over farm-raised varieties, as it contains higher levels of vitamin D and natural astaxanthin. If you are on a budget, do not overlook canned wild salmon. The soft, edible bones in canned varieties add valuable calcium, which is essential for muscle contractions and bone density. You can mix canned salmon with Greek yogurt for a probiotic-rich meal that supports both your gut health and your physical strength. By incorporating this Alaskan gold standard into your diet, you are not just eating dinner. You are providing your muscles with the cellular protection they need to thrive well into your 80s and 90s. In my clinical experience, the biggest hurdle for seniors is not just eating protein, but overcoming a physiological phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. When you are young, your muscles are highly sensitive to even small amounts of amino acids, but past age 70, that metabolic window of time shrinks dramatically. To actually trigger growth and stop the wasting of tissue, your body needs a rapid rush of amino acids that hit the bloodstream quickly. This is where whey protein becomes the fast track to muscle growth, often working more effectively than eggs for the oldest of my patients. Scientists at Master University compared whey to eggs in people over age 75 and found the whey group built twice as much muscle as the egg group. This was not because they ate more total protein, because of the speed at which whey works inside the body. Eggs are whole food that can take 3 to 4 hours to fully break down and digest. By the time those amino acids are ready to be used, your aging muscles have often already missed their chance to activate the growth signal. Whey protein, conversely, delivers its payload in about an hour. The real star of this process is an amino acid called leucine, which acts like a biological light switch for muscle building. While a serving of eggs provides about 1.3 grams of leucine, a single scoop of whey can provide up to 2.5 grams after age 70. Clinical data suggests you need closer to 3 grams of leucine in a single sitting to wake up the muscle protein synthesis process. To get that same amount from eggs, you would have to eat 5 of them at once, which is often impractical for a senior's appetite or digestive comfort. Whey protein also contains branched-chain amino acids like isoleucine and valine, which provide immediate energy to your muscles and protect them from breaking down during daily activities. Furthermore, whey carries natural antibodies called immunoglobulins that can help calm hidden gut inflammation. This is vital because inflammation in the digestive tract often blocks protein absorption in older adults. Another unique compound found in whey, called glycosamacropeptide, can boost hormones that control appetite while making your cells more responsive to insulin. When your insulin response is sharpened, more of the protein you eat is actually shuttled into your muscle tissue, instead of being stored as body fat. I often share the story of a 92-year-old patient who struggled with frailty until she began adding whey to her breakfast every morning. She used a simple clinical trick, blending the whey with frozen berries and a dash of Ceylon cinnamon. The antioxidants in the berries help protect the protein during the digestive process, and cinnamon has been shown to make insulin work up to 20% better, ensuring the nutrients reach the muscle fibers efficiently. For those who are sensitive to dairy, I recommend whey isolate, as almost all the lactose is removed during processing. If you tolerate dairy well, whey concentrate is an excellent choice as it retains more of the immune-supporting compounds. This is not just a supplement for athletes. For a senior, it is like flipping a switch that allows aging muscles to grow again. While whey protein acts as a rapid-fire trigger for muscle growth in the morning, your body faces a different challenge as the sun goes down. As we sleep, the body naturally enters a catabolic state, where it may break down muscle tissue to use for energy. In older adults, this process happens even faster, which is why many seniors find they wake up feeling slightly weaker or more stiff each day. This is where cottage cheese becomes a critical part of your muscle-building strategy. Unlike the fast-digesting proteins we have discussed, cottage cheese is rich in casein, a protein that digests very gradually. When casein enters the stomach, it forms a unique gel-like substance that slowly releases amino acids into your bloodstream for 6 to 8 hours. Dutch researchers have found that when seniors consume cottage cheese before bed, their bodies continue to synthesize new muscle protein throughout the entire night. It essentially acts as an anti-muscle loss switch while you rest, but the benefits extend beyond just the protein. Casein contains compounds that can slightly lower blood pressure and promote a deeper, more restorative sleep. As hope, I cannot emphasize enough that deeper sleep leads to a greater release of growth hormone, the body's natural repair signal. By fueling your body with high-quality protein before bed, you are creating a virtuous cycle. Better protein leads to better rest, and better rest leads to stronger muscles. Nutritionally, cottage cheese is a powerhouse specifically tailored for those over 70. 1 cup provides nearly 90% of your daily selenium needs. This is a mineral that many seniors are deficient in, and low levels of selenium are directly linked to chronic fatigue and muscle weakness. It also supplies about 14% of your daily calcium, which is essential for both bone density and the electrical signals that govern muscle contractions. Furthermore, it provides 38% of your daily vitamin B12 requirements and 30% of your phosphorus, which is the primary fuel for the energy source every muscle fiber depends on. Cottage cheese is also incredibly practical for the senior kitchen. It is soft, easy to digest, and requires no cooking, making it an ideal choice for those who may have trouble chewing or suffer from reduced stomach acid. If you are concerned about sodium intake, simply rinsing the cheese briefly can cut the salt content by 40% without losing any of the valuable protein. I often recommend my patients turn it into a bedtime snack by mixing in flax seeds for extra omega-3s or walnuts for arginine. By choosing this slow-release protein, You ensure that your muscles are being fed and repaired during the most vulnerable hours of the day, allowing you to wake up energized and ready to move. For our seventh powerhouse, we must look at a protein source that is often overlooked in Western diets but holds a massive advantage for anyone over age 60. It has a name that sounds almost like the devil, but its power to rebuild the aging body is nothing short of extraordinary. We are talking about seitan, often nicknamed wheat meat, which is a hearty food made from vital wheat gluten. While many seniors rely on powders or pills to meet their protein goals, seitan is a whole food that is absolutely packed with muscle-building potential. Just a 100-gram serving supplies a massive 39 grams of protein, putting it on par with some of the richest cuts of beef. The difference, however, is that you receive all that protein without the traditional baggage of animal foods, such as heavy saturated fats or the inflammatory effects that red meat can leave behind. What makes seitan especially valuable for my patients is how easily it is processed by the aging digestive tract. When wheat is processed into seitan, most of the starch and fiber are stripped away, leaving behind a dense, concentrated protein that the body absorbs quickly. This is a major plus for those over 60, since digestion naturally slows with age and nutrient absorption becomes more challenging. The science backing this up is compelling. A 2022 study published in Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who focused on plant-based proteins like seitan preserved 21% more lean muscle than those on a traditional mixed diet. In other words, it is not just filling. It directly supports muscle maintenance against the tide of sarcopenia. Furthermore, seitan is naturally low in fat and carbohydrates, making it an excellent option for anyone managing diabetes, high cholesterol, or trying to maintain a healthy weight. You get the muscle-building benefits of high-density protein without the blood sugar spikes or unnecessary calories. It is also one of the most versatile plant proteins you can cook with. Its dense, meaty bite makes it far more satisfying than tofu or tempeh. You can toss slices into a stir-fry, sear it with garlic and olive oil, or grill it into smoky strips. To unlock even more benefits, I recommend a simple clinical pairing. Eat your seitan with foods rich in vitamin C, such as bell peppers, broccoli, or kale. The reason is that the iron in seitan is the plant-based type, which your body absorbs much better when vitamin C is present. This small dietary adjustment turns a simple meal into an even stronger ally for your muscle health and daily energy levels. By incorporating this wheat meat into your routine, you are choosing a concentrated protein source that respects your digestion while fueling your strength. As we conclude this clinical journey into senior strength, it is essential to realize that muscle loss is not an inevitable part of your destiny, even after age 70. With the right proteins, your body retains the remarkable ability to repair, rebuild, and stay strong. Consider the 88-year-old man who transitioned from struggling to stand to walking briskly around the park every morning simply by adjusting his diet. While eggs have their place in a balanced diet, the science is clear that there are smarter, more targeted choices that protect your muscles, calm systemic inflammation, and ensure you remain independent for years to come. By incorporating lentils, hemp seeds, wild salmon, whey, cottage cheese, and seitan, You are not just eating more food. You are choosing energy, confidence, and a higher quality of life. The roadmap to vitality begins with practical daily choices. You can start by adding lentils to your lunch for a gut muscle boost, or sprinkling hemp seeds on your breakfast, nourished to nourish your muscles with plasma, like protein. Swap your traditional protein for wild-caught salmon 3 times a week to stop the oxidative erosion of your tissues. Use the rapid leucine trigger whey protein to wake up dormant muscle synthesis after your morning activity, and shield your muscles through the night with the slow-release casein found in cottage cheese. Finally, do not be afraid to try seitan, the plant-based powerhouse that rivals beef in protein density without the inflammatory baggage. The power to transform your health is quite literally in your hands and on your plate. Every meal is an opportunity to signal to your body that it is time to grow and repair rather than decline. I encourage you to take one of these 6 foods and integrate it into your routine this week. Whether it is adding a scoop of whey to your morning smoothie or trying a new seitan stir-fry, these small actions compound into significant physical resilience. Remember, your age is just a number, but your muscle mass is a vital indicator of your longevity. Stay informed, stay active, and most importantly, stay strong. It has been a privilege to guide you through this scientific exploration of senior health. By understanding the unique metabolic needs of the body over 70, you are now equipped with the knowledge to bypass anabolic resistance and reclaim your physical independence. The transition from frailty to strength is possible at any stage of life when you provide the right biological triggers. I hope you feel empowered to take immediate action, knowing that your best years of strength and mobility may still be ahead of you. Keep choosing vitality in every meal, and I look forward to hearing about your progress on this journey to a stronger, healthier you.